Apparently.
Where we come to?
Okay, the channel is live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on so many levels. We're going to play Daggerheart Beast Feast.
Like,
Daggerheart! Yay!
So, I'm Christiana Ellis. I am the game master. Our players tonight: Nobilis as Bright,
May the light of the great elder golden slime shine upon all of you, except for the game master who's got 10 fear on her table.
Mhm.
Very meta.
Mhm. Paul Weimer as Basilius, or
With breath or basileus, how you ever pronounce
Basileus.
it.
Well, okay, you tell me what you want me to say, and I will remember.
Basileus.
Basileus.
With breath and cleaver and lightning just a jot, I'm determined to help add meat to the pot.
Lee Burdett as Zeke.
I am definitely not that cool.
Dove Archambault as Curia.
hi. There's cool? What's that?
And Jason Banks as Clem Jr.
Oh, hello there.
So, when last we left our heroes, this is an adventure wherein the town of Elmore is located near the Plover Caves. Used to be that the deep in the caverns beneath the Plover Caves, a magical item known only as the Lure was kept drawing monsters to it and therefore away from the town of Elmore. But that magic has been fading of late, and the town of Elmore, including our heroes, has been trying to figure out what can be done about it. After a dangerous expedition to try to recover some spicy ghost scorpion paste, which can be made into a monster repellent, our party discovered that things are worse even than they realized. Monsters are digging new tunnels in the direction of the town, which might mean they are able to avoid the monster repellent placement locations. And also, a wizard named Balthazar, who lived nearby, has apparently burst into the tavern saying, "We're bleeped." That's where we left things off. But I think I would like everyone, because again, we're early in this campaign, I would like us to begin with everyone giving a physical description. What does your character look like, and what is their immediate reaction to this wizard bursting in? This is just because people don't have a mental picture of you yet. So please describe for us what people would see.
Basileus is a Dracona. That means he's basically a dragonborn without wings. If you're like thinking D&D, he's 6 feet tall. The scales are mostly electric blue, though he has some lighter blue on his horns. He's generally wearing a butcher's apron because his family are the butchers in town, and he can wield a cleaver even if he is also a sorcerer, and that's what he primarily does. So when the local wizard comes in and throws an exclamation out into the air. He just turns and says, "What? What?" in classic 10th Doctor fashion.
Uh, Bright is an old man. I'm going to read from some description stuff that we put together when we made the character. His clothes are yellow and threadbare. He has eyes like slits in an unbaked loaf of bread. Um, his body is stooped and somewhat emaciated. He is the color of milk tea, and his attitude is like a batty but kindly great uncle. Um, uh, and he leans on that staff a lot. When the wizard comes in and says, "Well, we're bleeped," um, uh, uh, Bright kind of leans over to the party member next to him and says, "Does he always censor himself like that?"
No, that's the problem.
It
Clem,
sounds like a personal problem.
Clem is a large turtle man with a ramshackle set of armor made of like bolts and scraps of metal, and he carries a very large hammer. But he's really nice, and he's like, "Why do you think we're bleaked? What's going on?"
I think there's a brief
Yeah.
moment of voiceover narration that says, "The wizard, of course, didn't censor himself, but this is a family program." Except that it's not really. Also, this narrator voice is something that all of the characters can hear, but they know they're not really supposed to reply to it.
Are you agreeing with the narrator?
It's like Zeke leans over to Bright and says, "The Elder Golden Slime seems to be getting kind of sassy." Zeke is a funnel, which means he is half goat. He's got goat hooves. He's got ram's horns, and he is the local shepherd. His pretty much you can describe him as brown all over the place. Brown hair, brown eyes, very tan skin because he pretty much lives his life outdoors, watching over the sheep. And you can't see it when I did his character design in Hero Forge, which is absolutely awesome. I actually gave him like goat eyes, like the horizontal slitted goat eyes.
Oh, nice.
So that's a bit of body horror. Um, but yeah, he's a really kind of down to earth kind of guy. He doesn't expect anything fancy. He is a shepherd. That's what he does. Um, except that he is also a druid who recently learned how to light things on fire. So we'll see how that works out.
Curia is the one group member that's not actually from here, but was guided here by an artifact from her grandmother who was from here. And she has a very uh, um, lithe body with clothes that are fine, fit, and meant for wilderness wear, eyes like lit emeralds, and an attitude that is um, a serious hunter with a hidden sadness. And her reaction to seeing to the wizard is to pull out the compass, and it is pointing almost like very strongly straight towards the wizard.
All right.
So,
And Jason, you kind of had Clem briefly respond, but I don't think we really got a solid visual description.
Oh yes. And he's pretty big. He's a pretty large fellow, you know. And he's honestly and truly he doesn't think he looks like his father, but his dad says they look alike. You know, they even talk about how they sound alike. We talked about that last week. But he does see the wizard and he's like, we just got back. I thought we cleared up a lot of the, the mess, with the tunnels and such. Are you saying there's something else wrong? And he kind of like shifts and he kind of rests on his large sledgehammer.
Well, so I will remind everyone that on your way back into town, as you passed Balthazar's retreat, this tower that has always been just outside of town for a long time, it did look like it was leaning significantly and being propped up by some like magical scaffolding. So that's new. But in any case, the wizard sees you all and you're kind of reacting, and he kind of blinks at all of you and just holds up a finger and then goes over to the bar. As a reminder, this is a it's berries, right? That's the
yeah,
Yep.
very.
yeah, berries, which is kind of a chain in these regions, but this is the Elmore berries. And so he goes up to the bar um, and just glares at the bartender. And the bartender says, "Sure, I can't make you a real drink, Balthazar?" And Balthazar just kind of gives the the come on gesture. And you watch as the bartender simply pours water into a great big stein. At which point, Balthazar reaches into his pocket, takes a little pinch of something, puts it in the mug, and then stirs it with his wand, and then takes a sip. Ooh, all right. And the bartender, as the Balthazar is walking away, is just saying like, "You could probably bring your own water." Just saying. So Balthazar does come and just like plunk down at the table, and you can smell what he's got in his stein now. It smells like perhaps whiskey, something of that variety, but he has clearly got some alcohol consumption in progress. And he takes a couple of swallows, and then he just says, "So, didn't come to check out my leaning tower, I see."
We had a task from the mayor to complete.
Uh-huh. Well, it's just as well. I mean, I guess I don't know what I expected. I'm not sure you could have done anything about it anyway. I don't know, just feeling out of sorts, I suppose. Yeah.
Perhaps you could describe to us what the issue is and we could see if we can help.
Well, I felt like I kind of summed it up when I got here, but short version is I've been watching The Lure. I think everybody's aware that it's been fading, but working theory was it was just getting old. Turns out a lot of things kind of fade as they get old. And he like glares at everybody, like daring them to say something about him.
Nope. That.
Yeah, well, in any case, I've got my ways of watching The Lure, and I've been a little suspicious that there was something more than that to it. Didn't feel like it was a continuous rate of decline of functionality. And then, sure enough, I'm watching it, and a bunch of weirdos wearing a bunch of bleep, like, all over their bodies, are apparently like stealing it, drinking it, something. They're doing it was unclear. Partly because I watched them all march up to it, which if they're monsters, they shouldn't be able to do. But they did. Maybe it's because of all the beep they're wearing. But I watched them approach the lure, and I watched its power drain like 17% in a minute. And as I was watching, thinking to myself, well, that sucks. One of them turns and looks right at my periscope. And then they walked over, clomp, clomp, clomp. And they put a rock in front of it. So now I don't know what's happening.
Well, I mean, we could go clear off your periscope, and then we can go see what they were doing. I mean, can't hurt, right?
Someone's ambitious.
How difficult would it be to get to the lure?
I would say somewhere between impossible and, well, let's say somewhere in between impossible for anybody and impossible for you.
Oh, I don't think so.
Hmm.
If you think things are impossible, then you'll never get anything done.
Mhm.
And besides, hammers make things better.
And he kind of pats the head of his sledgehammer.
Hmm. You know, I, you know, judging by the stories my grandmother told, the great Balthazar would never be that defeatist.
Wait, who's your grandmother?
Uh, her name was Rosemary.
Oh, Rosemary.
Of Rosemary's Lookout?
No, oh yeah, no, I know the one you mean. Um, well, for one, it's been a long time with a lot of gained life experience since I was less defeatist. And what are you even doing here?
I'll push the compass towards, a little towards him and says, she guided me here because it's important.
He's kind of like squinting and peering down at the compass to like get a closer look at it. Are you like
It's just sitting on the table and um with I just in sight, basically.
Okay. Well, so I think he looks at it and then he's kind of like moves a little bit to one side, moves a little bit to the other side. And then he suddenly uses his wand, lifts it up off the table and goes and sends it flying out the window. Like, what are you carrying around something like that for? That's dangerous.
It's always guided me to where I've been needed most.
Like, towards danger?
It's always been danger I could handle it with at least help.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So the fact that you have been lucky enough to have not been killed by what it's leading to you to yet makes you think it's a good thing.
Oh, I wouldn't say lucky. We're pretty skilled, honestly.
I did see you fight those centipedes. And I have to say, the level of expectation I have of people of this village, B plus.
Oh, well, thanks. I mean, if I had your magical power and the ability to watch from my ivory tower, I would do more than that too, so I would rate you at maybe a B.
Yeah, well, I think that that's fair. You don't really know what you're talking about, but I think you kind of nailed it anyway. Uh, I never made any claim whatsoever to being some grand hero of the land. I came here to get away from people being a pain in the ass who are going to bother me all the time. And I settled here and I built my little periscope to keep an eye on the lure because I wanted to know that it was going to stay calm here. And it seems like, no, not anymore. So I'm trying to kind of, I don't know, decide whether I need to just go ahead and pack up and move again, or if there's like even just staying in my tower more or whatever. But, you know, you all are basically, yeah, this town I don't think is going to be very livable for, I mean, I know you've all been struggling. It's just going to get worse. I'm sorry to tell you.
All right.
I don't think so. We made some delicious cuts while we were down there.
What does that mean?
Hey,
Oh, well, monsters are tasty.
so you're one of those.
Yes.
I
All right.
must admit that it's strange, but it is uh you know better than expected.
All right, well, like, hey, I'm not judging, but my body's a temple.
Hmm,
And Cliff
I
goes,
think
by the way, what kind of powder is that? What does that, can it do more things? Like, does it season food?
It's magic powder. It does magic.
hmm,
I don't think I've ever,
Turning water into wine, that sort of thing.
oh, I've heard a guy can do
Yeah,
water
that.
that
into
sort of
whipped
thing.
cream, I think. I think before you decide to pack up and leave, should at least give the folks here a chance to solve their problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So mm, it's given me a little bit of a nostalgia buzz now that
Mhm.
y'all are like feeling all gung ho. Scaring my dog. Sorry about that, Rocket. I made my chair wiggle and he was leaning against the bottom of it.
Yeah. I'm
Uh,
I'm glad you have a corgi for a familiar, Balthazar. They're excellent dogs.
well, they provide a lot of what I call corky glitter. That's a helpful alchemical ingredient.
Hmm.
Anyway, I am simultaneously amused and uh, affectionately reminded of the past to see you all talking about these problems like they're solvable. But I mean, here's my concern. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that you wanted to go down there and do something about this.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How deep into the caves have any of you been?
I must admit that I have not been very deep at all.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. I'm not a big cave dweller.
To
I
the realm
was
of the
born in
scorpions.
Manchego Manor, and there's
Ah.
documents there for that describe all sorts of places. But I myself have never been any further than the Griddlefell.
Well, so the Griddlefell is frankly deeper than I would have expected. Although I suppose you're saying that the documents are from there,
And
or
there's
you.
documents that describe all kinds of places down
Uh huh.
there. The monastery is something of a place of learning, after all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Problem with documents, especially old documents, is that things are constantly changing down there. Uh, so it sounds like the one of you with the most experience has been to the uppermost layer of the Plover Caves. You realize there's 3 more layers below that.
Hmm.
Uh-huh. And there are people who live down there, but those are people who live down there. They know what's up. They know what's going on down there. They know what to expect. And even they're having trouble because things are getting worse.
Do you have communication with them?
I mean, like if I wanted to talk to any of them, I suppose.
Could you provide us with directions?
Ooh, yes.
A map even.
Yeah, because I mean,
You have the
let's
best lay
let's
of the
think about
land?
this honestly. If we all pack up and move, where are we gonna go? My herds are here. All of our families are here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this is home. I don't feel like we should be giving up on it. without a
So,
fight.
okay. So, y'all are kind of making me sad now because I feel like I'm warning you that it's impossible and you don't believe me. And if I give you any kind of hope or instruction or resource, all that's going to lead to is you all going down there and getting yourself killed. And then I'm going to feel like I had a hand in that.
So, forgive my frank question, but why are you here?
I mean, the bartender's telling me I should bring my own water, but honestly, it is better here. I like the Stein, and he won't let me take them home.
All right then. Well, I've
Um,
had my breakfast, fellows. Shall we see what we can accomplish?
wait, so you're really all gonna just go down there and try to fix it? Do you have any idea? Like, I
What
just
else
told
is?
you that a bunch of weird monsters wearing weird monster armor are apparently eating the lure, which they should
Well,
not be able to even approach.
and Clem is like, well, to be fair, if they can eat it, then we might be able to eat it. And that would be really cool, because then it'd be like eating some sort of like magical thing. But also, we kind of let this one critter get away, and I think it could make a delightful drink, and so I'd like to go catch it. Especially since we've got those tunnels that they've made that could lead us to where they're possibly going.
Clem is an unusual specimen.
Well, I'm
Uh,
big and I'm kind of hungry, so
so, for the rest of us, I believe I can speak for everyone except Clem. This is our home, and we want to do what we can to defend it. And if all we can do is go in and kill a few monsters, so that there's that many fewer to overrun Elmore, and if we can earn it another day of comfort and stability, then we'll do that. And I, I mean, I can only speak for myself in this regard. Is that I can't think of a better way to spend my remaining days than trying to make it a better place for the people who are here. Evacuating the entire town is a price that, quite frankly, many people would not want to pay. And we are going to see what we can accomplish. And if it's only a delaying action, then we've earned a year or a month or a week for our wonderful town. Then so be it.
And also,
So
I believe
good
that
day, sir. I have monsters to slay. And
Uh,
Bright hobbles out of the tavern.
okay, I love all of that. I was going to have you make a roll, but you kind of kept talking, which is fine. Obviously, you're on a roll. But what I would like here is for you to make a
Okay.
presence roll,
Okay.
because you're trying to be persuasive.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think this is
And I would like to
since everyone
spend
is
a
kind of
hope.
contributing too, you can all make it a
Yeah.
group check if you would like.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that idea.
And I would like to add the priest of a small cult experience.
Yeah, I
I'm going to
think that
spend a hope for that.
that makes sense to me. Okay, so wait, so if we're doing it as a group roll, I think it makes sense that Bright's leading it in this specific circumstance. But
Okay, sure.
if everyone wants to make your own roll, I'm looking for a difficulty of 14 here. So if everyone makes their
Okay.
own presence roll, then you know,
Yeah. Can I
okay.
add the never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down experience as well?
yeah. So obviously, if you want to spend the hope for using the experience, you may.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. And would my uh highborn privilege count towards this?
Hmm. I feel like, sure, why not?
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Mm.
So let's see. This first 17. So let's see.
15. With
17 is a +1 from Jason. 15 from Curia. And 18 from Basilios.
Basileus.
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 I'm sorry, I'm having so much trouble with that one.
So that's a total plus
yeah.
2?
Well, it's a total of +3, I think, because we've got.
Well,
Yep.
But Lee's failure, doesn't that reduce one?
Yes, you're right. Yes, correct.
Okay, so I have a presence of 2. I have 2 for my experience, and I have 2 for the help
Mm-hmm.
on the group roll. So that makes a total of +6 on the roll, and that's a total of 27.
Wow, with hope even.
Wow.
So I want to say that Bright's speech happened just exactly as we saw, up to and including marching out of the tavern. And I think, though, that there's a reflection. What I will retroactively add to that scene is some hero editing for
Okay.
for Bright giving that speech, meaning we get a swell of inspirational music. We get everybody else in the berries is kind of looking and kind of awestruck, because they realize too that, like, this is not only are you in the face of an educated person telling you it's impossible, declaring your intent to save the town from monsters.
Well, not to save the town, but to earn
to
it what
defend
time
it
I
at least.
can.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and I think that so I think that there's a lot of that. So what is everyone else's immediate response? I think Balthazar is like listening to all of that. What else is everyone else doing right away, like as Bright finishes that speech?
I'm standing up and standing right next to right next to
following.
right, and putting a hand, like saying,
Nope, he's gone. He's gone though.
Well,
He's gone.
I think
I'm on my way out.
Yeah,
No,
you could
yeah.
have basically stood up to just follow him out, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay, is that kind of what everyone's doing, or?
Yeah, and Clem will look down at the wizard guy and he'll be like,
Listen, if it's all impossible and it's going to be destroyed regardless, then we got to try at least.
Yeah.
If you truly thought it was hopeless, you would be gone by now. And Kiri follows.
by the way, Nobilis, I just want you to know that when you were doing that, I was hearing,
We will not go quietly into that night. It's our Independence Day.
Yeah. Well, for me, I was just like, once more into the read. I was,
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So
Yep.
I think you all like leave the tavern. I'll remind you, Curia, Balthazar threw your compass out the window. So I don't know if you.
Oh, he threw the compass out.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I said.
yeah,
You said
Yeah.
wand.
No, he
No.
used his wand and he made your compass fly out the window.
Ah,
Oh.
yeah.
I wanted to reiterate that because it seemed like you didn't respond.
I didn't
Yes.
realize what you said.
No,
Yeah. And then
he
so
did not throw his own wand out the window.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
he was
okay.
saying your
So-
compass was dangerous, and so he threw it out the window.
Kiria would definitely go and try and find it, because
Okay.
and Clem will go with you. Saying and Clem is like,
That wasn't nice, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
no, it wasn't.
Although, is it dangerous?
No more dangerous than the world itself, as far as I'm aware.
Oh, well, that's a pretty dangerous place.
Yeah, but we live in it, so
Where we keep our stuff.
Do we need to make an instinct roll
To do what?
to try
To
to find
find
the
it?
compass?
Oh, no. I mean, I think that it's it. He didn't like make it go down a well or something.
Oh,
It just flew out the window.
outside.
So I think yeah, you can just go to outside that window. Um, but I think though that as you go to collect it and as you're sort of beginning to like gather yourselves and is like having made a dramatic exit, um, now you have to actually walk somewhere else. You're kind of collecting yourselves for the purpose of saying, okay, now what? And all of a sudden, storm clouds just roll in out of nowhere. And a strike of lightning lands just like right in the center of this public square, right in front of where all of you are. And the wind goes. And as your eyes adjust from the bright flash of the lightning, you see Balthazar standing there where the lightning struck. And now he does not look like a drunk old man in a cheap wizard uniform. He looks like a powerful wizard. And he says, he stands there for a moment just very dramatically. And then he wobbles a little bit. I haven't done that in a while.
But I would say I would say you nailed the landing 10 out of 10.
Thank you, but I have done this because, frankly, you have shamed me. You have made me forget what it is to take risks on the behalf of others. And
Clem just kind of chuckles and is like, it's not a risk for us. It's where we live.
so I'm deciding to help you now, but part of that is going to be to correct you anytime you try to suggest that going down into those caves is not a risk. If you think that it's not going to be dangerous down there, then you're just mistaken and you will get yourself killed.
Very well.
But I find it incumbent upon me to assist how I can. As it happens, I'm actually doing quite a bit in my tower. It is not just me up there counting grains of rice or whatever it is you think I do. But I can help a little. As I mentioned, standard maps tend to not be helpful because things change so frequently. But I can give you a general map. I can also, anytime you find the conduit of my periscope, I can speak to you through it. It runs quite some distance through the caves and into many areas. It's not everywhere, but when you find it, you can consult with me. And I can also offer you loot. You want some loot, right? I mean, that's
Yes.
Anything that would
That would be helpful,
assist
yes.
our endeavors would be welcome. Yes, we are accepting donations and offerings.
Mm-hmm. So, I expect coming from this town, probably don't have any like proper weapons. I'm looking at what you're wearing.
We've done with what we can. Yes.
No, I mean, and that's great, but it's going to take more than that. What I can do is this, and he will give some convincing in-world explanations for what I'm about to basically tell you, which is that amongst the 5 of you, you can, so for the whole group, you can all choose that there's like uh, 2 tier 2 weapons. And hang on, and the armor, because all the weapon tables in the book are by tier, right? And so I
Okay.
would say the party collectively gets 2 tier 2 weapons, and I can you can choose who you will want to have them, and then we can decide what it is that he gives you.
Are those
Um,
the items that are marked advanced?
I don't know what you're looking at when you say. Oh no, so there are
I,
things that say advanced, but they're not. Those look like those are
oh,
all on
okay.
the tier 3 table.
Okay.
I will. So we'll figure out what it is. But so what I'm saying is that I've got a random table that you're all going to get to roll on to get a special item just for you, but at random. And then amongst all of you, decide uh, who we think needs a tier 2 weapon, and we'll figure out what it is.
Well, I mean, one of us was wanting a bow and couldn't get one to start with.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I've forgotten exactly what it was.
that was
I thought,
uh, Kyria.
Curious. So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah.
So
So
there's also tier 2 armor, and so what I'll say is let's do we could do 2 of each. So you know what? How about this?
Mhm.
I'm kind of improvising a little bit here because this is already off of what I had initially written down in my notes. This is fine. Because you're getting more stuff because you did so good on your presence roll. You really inspired him.
okay.
So what I will say is each of you can get either a tier 2 armor or a tier 2 weapon.
Hmm.
And let's figure out what that ought to be. So let's start. Kyria wants a bow, probably, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So let's see. Tier 2 weapons. There's also secondary weapons. You could get a tier 2 secondary weapon if you wanted that instead of a tier
Actually,
2 primary weapon.
Bow is two-handed, so
Oh yeah.
yeah. So
Um,
I would definitely be happy to get an improved short bow
okay.
because
I
that
was just so do you want a short bow? There's also at tier 2 there's a magical elder bow.
let me take a look at that one.
So there's improved short bow, there's improved long bow, and then there's the elder bow. So
Elder bow.
the elder bow has a powerful trait. On a successful attack, roll an additional damage die and discard the lowest result. And
Heck yeah, I'll take the elder bow.
okay. So that is a two-handed. Yeah.
Yep.
So for you, hunter from distant lands, granddaughter of Rosemary, I offer you this elder bow. It's very old, but it still works good. That should be representative of things. Like,
It will.
you should
will-
all understand and have respect for old things that still work.
Absolutely.
No arguments.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Clem, what would you be looking for? Notably, too, for anything, it's a magic weapon. Your class has to have a spellcasting trait. I don't remember if that's true of all of you or not, but just let's not pick a magic weapon for you if you don't have the spellcasting trait.
Huh. Elder bow uses instinct instead of agility.
Yes, I think that's part of it being a magic bow. If you would rather that not be the case, we could get you. We could do the non-magic one instead.
Yeah, I would rather.
Okay,
have
fair
that.
enough. That's part of the distinction between the magic one and the. So there's the improved longbow then, which does a D8 instead of D6 damage, but is cumbersome, so you would have -1 to finesse.
Yeah, I would. I think I'll just go with the short bow because it
Okay.
doesn't have that.
All right. I do need to have my eyes checked. I thought that this was the elder bow. It's actually just a really nice short bow, but it's, you know, you're dealing with a weird fishing rod that shoots darts somehow. So,
This is one. This will be used wonderfully.
all right. So Clem, what would you be wanting, a weapon or armor?
I'm gonna say armor.
Okay.
So, I looked at the weapons, and there's a couple hammers, but none that I was super impressed by. But
Okay.
let's see.
I mean, it's like up to you. But so with
Yeah.
armor, you're at a point where you can, there's different kinds of armor that you can choose from here, and they have different sorts of traits to them. Uh, how about um, there's Iron Tree breastplate armor. When you mark your last armor shot, your damage increase your damage thresholds by +2 until you clear an armor shot, and that's because it's reinforced. There's also
Actually, yeah, I like that actually.
yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so Iron Tree breastplate armor. And you'll find that it has extra long straps, which is good for your whole shell situation.
Like, wow, that's very accommodating. This is very comfortable.
All right, Zeke. Would you be looking for some armor or a weapon? I believe you are muted again.
Story of my life.
Well, it's because you keep muting yourself. That would be why.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think some armor.
Okay.
Yeah, I've only got 3 armor slots, man.
Well, I mean, you're not going to get a ton more armor slots. The maximum
Yeah.
on these
Yeah.
on tier 2 is 5, but they
Yeah,
changed the
Okay.
damage thresholds.
The thresholds are the main benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think some armor
Okay.
would be
So there's there's straightforward armor, but then there's also like the nicer ones here. You've got warded armor, resilient armor, shifting armor, quiet armor, hopeful armor. Any of those leap out at you?
warded armor? What is warded armor?
You reduce incoming magic damage by your armor score before applying it to your damage thresholds. But it's only for magic damage.
Right.
And so that means like however many unmarked armor slots you have, you would reduce magic damage.
Yeah.
There's hopeful armor, which when you would spend a hope, you can mark an armor slot instead.
Mm.
That actually looks like it has one of the better base thresholds as well. There's shifting. When you are targeted for an attack, you can mark an armor slot to give the attack roll against you disadvantage.
Okay.
I mean, so just like imagine what kind of armor you want here. What do you want it to be true? What you want it to have? I feel like we're taking a lot of.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I could just
basically I want it to do more physical damage, but
okay, well, the armor is not going to do that.
Yeah. Well, no, I meant it absorbs more physical damage.
Okay, well,
so,
if you want the thresholds to be higher,
yeah,
that's what we're talking about. So the Rosewild armor does that, and I mean they're all going to improve it, but like, think of it like armor, right? The heavier the armor is, the more it's going to do that.
Right.
Okay.
So you're talking about heavy armor, although like chainmail armor is heavy, has more slots, but you have -1 to evasion.
Yeah, no.
Have the other traits. Like they're not. It doesn't do everything.
Yeah,
I feel like I've
I'm
described
looking
3
for it
different
in
ones that
I'm
would be
looking
good for
for
you.
the I'm
All right.
looking for like the hopeful armor in the managed equipment slot, and I'm not finding it.
It's not called okay. It's not called hopeful armor. That's the trait. It is
Yeah.
called
Okay.
rosewild
Yeah.
armor.
What here's
Rosewild.
what you do. You go into manage equipment, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had to poke around a bit to find this. And then in the upper right, click filters. Okay.
Okay.
Select the kind of thing you want and set the tier to 2. And that'll give you the list of things to
Okay.
Mhm.
to choose from. Okay.
Okay.
And you can even if it's a weapon, you can choose which attack trait it uses, so that you're taking your best trait, and then click confirm, and it will just give you those items.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. The exact thing I was hoping to avoid was silence while we just have people reading lists.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
I know what I want. I want
Okay.
the improved wand.
Okay. Great. Um, uh, Balthazar looks to you and sees your little sparkle wand and just says, "It's very cute. I'm sure it has sentimental value. This one is better."
I, Practicality wins over style at a time. And Bright passes his hand over the wand, and the actinic blue that it had been radiating switches to a golden yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But if you can have practicality and style, take that every time.
Volcano does.
All right.
Okay.
So, Basileus,
Basileus.
do you know what you want?
I want some armor because I'm a squishy sorcerer, and I think
Okay.
something like along the lines of maybe the floating armor might be what I want.
The floating
That's a
armor.
shifting.
The shifting armor. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, I
yeah.
see. The Rune 10 floating armor. When you're, shifting trait. When you're targeted for an attack, you can mark an armor slot to give the attack roll disadvantage.
That sounds like it's very useful for
All right.
keeping me alive. So that's what I want.
So,
Take it.
what does the floating armor mean? Does it mean like these armor plates are like literally not strapped on in a normal way? They just float around you?
I like that, yes, because
Right.
why not? We're in a fantasy world, so yes. I mean, they're not floating that far away from me, but yes,
Mm-hmm.
there's,
Yeah.
it makes me even more look like a sorcerer.
And when you
Nice.
take
Perfect.
it off, it just collapses into a stack of plates.
Okay.
It's
It
plate art.
doesn't just fall off.
Yeah.
Mm.
You basically do an undoing action, and
Mm-hmm.
it organizes itself into a
Yeah.
stack.
All right. Zeke, have you
Yeah.
picked armor yet?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I
All
want
right.
the improved gambeson.
Okay. All right. Improved Gambison armor for you.
Thank you.
All right. So now, and everybody, and now that you've handed all of that, and Balthazar is like, well, that was kind of more of an ordeal than I expected. But that's fine. Now everybody gets to pull from the grab bag.
Okay.
We're
What's your
gonna everyone
roll?
roll percentile dice.
Okay.
All right, for Curia, you reach into this big, like, sack that he's got. It's a little bit like, it looks mostly like it's a very nice, large, velvet drawstring pouch, but it's got like a glamour that keeps like sort of flickering a little bit, so it occasionally looks just like a burlap sack, but it's just kind of like a flickering fluorescent bulb, um, is occasionally revealing that it doesn't always look quite so fancy. But you reach in and you grab and pull out a magical torch. This is Alistair's torch. You can light the magic torch at will. The flame's light fills a much larger space than it should, enough to illuminate a cave as bright as day. Clem Jr., you reach in and you pull out a dual flask. The flask can hold 2 different liquids. You can swap between them by flipping a small switch on the flask's side. And I will allow you to decide if you want to have it. Like, I'm going to declare you can pick 2 different liquids for it to be, and it just has a full supply of those. Like, it just doesn't run out.
Okay.
The item doesn't actually say that, but I'm saying that.
Alrighty, cool.
But so you tell me what 2 they are, so they're fixed. You can't just constantly change them up. But whatever ones that you pick, you'll have a ready supply of.
One of them's got to be oil.
Yeah, I was gonna say one would be like oil I can use for deep frying and stuff like that. And
I'm realizing that this. Oh, so you know what? You shouldn't have been rolling percentile dice. Now that I think about it, you should have been rolling d12s. But it's fine. I am going to need both Lee and Paul to roll again, though, because it doesn't actually go to 100. It goes to 60. So re-roll if you didn't get. Yeah. All right. So 7 for Basileus. You pull out a cloak. An arcane cloak. A creature with a spellcast trait wearing this cloak can adjust its color, texture, and size at will.
All right.
Zeke, you got... Wow, everyone's rolling below... we got 3 rolls below 10 now. With 2,
Well, yeah, we're rolling a d12, so it's almost every roll
okay,
going to be below
no,
10.
okay. I meant... Okay, I know I was unclear. This is my fault. What I wanted was instead... So... The way the table usually works is you roll a number of d12s based on what type of, category it was going to be. But because we were already rolling percentile dice, I didn't want to change that. So I was just saying, roll the percentile dice, but re-roll if it's above 60. That's what I was going to say. So, actually, if Basileus and Zeke still want to keep their 7 and 2, you can, or you can re-roll the percentile dice and
No, I like this cloak.
It's
Okay.
fine.
All right, so you pull out a handcrafted whistle, the Piper whistle. It has a distinctive sound. When you blow this whistle, its piercing tone can be heard within a 1-mile radius.
Nice.
Okay.
63 is too high.
Yeah.
78's too high. 26.
Okay. You pull out a great stone. You can attach this stone to a weapon that doesn't already have a feature, which I think your improved wand is in that category. The weapon gains the following feature. Powerful. On a successful attack, roll an additional damage die and discard the lowest result.
Okay. Definitely putting that on the wand.
All right. What does it look like on your wand? Is it just a big glory?
It looks like, you know how the hilt of a sword or a down at the handle end, like the pommel of a dagger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you know what? It's going to be on the tip. It's going to be on the tip. It's a crystal on the tip of the wand.
Okay,
yeah.
Great. You've all got your stuff, and then he hands you a rolled up scroll on which is the map that y'all have already seen, which I'm gonna put us on briefly here. And as you are looking at it, this is the map in the Roll20. He will reiterate, none of this map is a guarantee. As I mentioned, things are changing constantly down there. These are things that you may or may not find in those areas. I can't promise you that any of it is still the way that it was when this map was made. But it's better than nothing, probably.
Understood.
Now, what I'm also going to tell you is that you can obviously head over to the main entrance of Plover Caves and enter the caverns. That way, that's probably the closest way to stop by Manchego Manor if you were wanting to do that. You're going to have some of the more hospitable areas closer if you go that way. But another option you could take if you want is you could follow the tunnel below my tower, which is following the initial part of my magical periscope. And it's a pretty steep descent for quite a ways, and it's kind of treacherous and dangerous. But at that location, you're following a more direct path. So it's up to you how you want to handle it.
I mean,
Oh.
clearly I want to check in with Manchego Manor. I haven't been there for quite a while, but if the rest of the group wants to take the shortcut, I'm amenable to that.
Regardless of what direction we take, you wouldn't happen to have an object from that's been at the lure's location, would you?
Why?
My training has allowed me to identify the paths, the shortest, most direct path to the destination an object has been.
Well, that would be nice. No, sorry.
Okay, I had to ask. Well then, since I think since we've had obviously Bright Bright has knows people in Manchego Manor, it would probably be better to go that direction. To help maybe get some more wisdom as to conditions deeper down below. Plus, we have already been to the entrance of Plover Caves, so we know what the situation is there, at least more recent.
I can see both being good options. But information is always better to have, in my opinion.
Reluctantly, I'm forced to agree. I think the shortcut would be better, but I respect Bright's desire to reconnect with Manchego Manor, and we might be able to gather some recent intel, which, as Rizza points out, is something that is lacking with the caves always changing. So I vote we go that route this time.
I do as well.
All right, well, so since you're not going to be following it directly, which is fine, if you ever come across in your travels something that looks like a glass lens sticking out of a red conduit, it's just in the middle of the wall or on the ceiling or wherever you might spot it, that's one of the lenses of my periscope. And if you find those, you can talk to me through them. I'll try to be listening.
We appreciate the information, the guidance, and the loot.
And the gifts.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Indeed. Thanks for the help.
Right. Now, I'm going to say one last time, be careful. Because now that I've helped you, if you all die, I'm going to feel responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
We will do.
I will make sure to take as much care as possible.
Yeah.
We all will.
And don't worry, if I die, I won't haunt you, I promise.
See, that feels like...
It feels like it.
It feels like you're saying you will.
No, not me.
Just
All right.
All
Well,
right.
so I can't promise anything, really. I am not in control down there. But at the very least, you reminded me of a time in my life where I felt like I had any ability to influence the world at all. So
Mhm.
I guess I don't want to take that away from you all prematurely. And who knows, maybe you'll accomplish something.
Thank you.
Well,
Yeah.
I appreciate your change of heart. Now, that takes
Very well.
courage and strength of character, young man.
Indeed.
All right. Well, now that I've done all of this, I'm kind of need a nap. So I'm going to head back to my tower now. Don't die.
Good luck on the foundation.
And he literally just like wanders off.
Okay.
Like he's
Well, we'll also be wandering off because
Yeah.
I think we're our business in town is done. So I think we are off towards.
You all discover as you sort of finish this conversation with them and like turn to recognize that a crowd has gathered, and as you sort of start to heroically turn your sights towards the caves, they all cheer, "Yay!"
Oh God, in a good way.
And there's a
I
little
am-
kid
And
in the
just-
back that says, "Mommy, are they gonna die?"
And then you
Wow.
watch as the crowd parts, and limping on a crutch through the parting crowd is beloved Mayor Doug Duggle out of bed. He shouldn't be. He's still hurt, but he has made his way here to see you off. And he looks up to all of you and just says, I heard what you're planning to do for this town, and I have to thank you all and wish you luck. And so that we may spread the word of your bravery, what should we call you?
I was thinking of
I've got an idea. I don't want I want to put it to you before I have the character speak it out loud.
Okay.
Uh, uh, the in the tradition of things being named after food, I was going to call us the Golden Nuggets.
Yeah, I like that.
That is so bizarrely
Thumbs
absurd
up.
that I think we need to go with it.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely, 100%.
This helps Chris. This helps Meta Cristiano with the tags for the game. Now we have to,
Well, no, it's traditional in a campaign. You got to
Yeah.
name the party.
true.
Gotta name the
Yeah.
party.
It's
Gotta name
bad
the party.
luck. Bad luck to not have a party name. But yeah, so Doug Duggle like turns and the Golden Nuggets, and everyone cheers again.
And
Yeah.
blessings
Tyrion
of the
just
Elder
kinda-
Golden Slime upon all of you.
Juliet just kind of blushes and nods and just
Make another presence roll just right. For the
Okay.
blessings of the Golden Slime.
For the presence of the
A
slime.
regular old roll.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Wow.
It's a critical success.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Oh,
It is.
yeah.
It's interesting that the little interface doesn't automatically
Yep.
register that. It's the hilarity for anyone who can't see these little dice rolls is that he literally rolled the lowest that you could possibly roll.
2 ones.
2 ones, snake eyes on the dice for a total of 4 because you have a +2. But in Daggerheart, when they match, it's a crit. And I think that you know, as we've discussed, you've been maintaining this shrine to the Golden Slime in town. It's not like it's been like people
Yeah.
are aware of this.
Mhm.
It's not like been a shunned cult or something like that. But I would also, I think, say that it hasn't been like overwhelmingly successful. But I think that what you see is you look over and you realize that let's name an NPC that was the person who's the closest thing to like an altar boy that's been like actually helping with the shrine.
Um, one moment.
Sure. Um, Everybody else
Quick.
name a detail about them while we're waiting for the actual name.
Hazel eyes.
Okay. Uh,
They
more. Come on, guys.
oh, they have an an oddly hairless spot right here,
Okay.
right on the side of their head.
All right.
Yeah. And that hairless spot has two little moles on it, so it looks like a pair of eyes.
Okay. All right.
Um, Edwin. His name's
Edwin.
Edwin.
All right. Edwin. So I think there's a moment as you're preparing to leave when you realize, oh wait, what about the shrine? What about the spiritual health of Elmore while you're gone? And then you look and you see Edwin standing there wearing his vestments as you pass, and he gives you a nod like, I'm ready. I will take care of the shrine. And you're like,
Uh, as I'm leaving, I take my staff, which is now obsolete
mm-hmm.
because I've got a better weapon,
Yeah.
and I place it in his hands
Aw.
because it's got that golden blob kind of icon on the end,
mm-hmm.
and just there you are. Use it in good health and the blessings of the elder golden slide.
He accepts it reverently and nods. Says, I will.
I'm sure you will. So we head off toward
yes.
the dungeon.
All right. So everyone ventures back into the wilderness. And I think you actually overtake Balthazar because he's just walking back to his tower and he's not going very fast. So you actually catch up with him. And he just kind of says, well, I mean, I don't really have anything more to say. So please don't think me awkward if I just walk in silence. I suppose I could come up with some banal line that signifies the end of the conversation tree that I could just say over and over.
Oh God! But this
That's
isn't
on your
that
path.
kind of world.
That's on your path.
So in any case, I think you reach the fork in the path where you would either go to his tower or not, and I'm assuming you do not because you chose not to go that way.
Yep.
And so you are traveling and you are passing through. You make your way through the forest. You see the place where you had fought the centipedes and recognize that like, oh, these little tunnels going everywhere. Indications of possible future trouble. Some of those might lead places, but some of them might just collapse. It's hard to say. They don't seem very stable. But then you also make your way through the ruins of this other city that had been there. There's rumored to, and now according to this map you've been given, lies above an access to the dome known as Brilliance, deep within the caves, or rather, I guess not that deep. It's in the uppermost part of the shallows, in fact, but deep compared to standing on the surface. So it occurs to you that probably somewhere in these ruins is an access to that passage, but assuming you are not going that way because you are heading on your way to the remaining entry of Plover Caves. But on your path in that direction, you are going to pass Rosemary's Lookout. And uh, Curia, there was a moment where you heard just, I think Balthazar just pulled you aside just very briefly for a moment and gestured at you holding the compass and just said, which by the way, I think is no longer pointing at him. And he just says, that may be useful, but I think it would be a mistake for you to assume that it has your best interests in mind.
I would guess it has the best interest of what my grandmother would want in mind.
Maybe.
Maybe. But I will be cautious.
All right. And so as you are passing Rosemary's Lookout, do any of you want to go up, or are you heading straight for the caves?
I would like to go up there just you know just for a moment.
Okay. I mean, I think it's probably not like trivial. It's not like, oh, just take 2 minutes and walk up there, but you can go.
Um,
I mean, if we're just looking at the map here, I'm going to say that it's probably an hour to hike up there.
That's a two
Wait.
hour. That's a 2 hour detour. Curia, I
I,
think.
I don't see that's a problem.
What time
it
of
may
day is it?
I think that it is getting to be late afternoon, which obviously is going to be kind of moot once you're down in the caves. But as far as your own sort of sleep schedule, it does look like there are some rain clouds blowing in, though.
Yeah, because my first thought was maybe the lookout would be a good place to set up camp, and then we can go into the caves in the morning well rested.
that could be a good idea.
But if there's rain coming, then the lookout doesn't look like it has very much shelter.
Or we could get to the entrance, and camp at the entrance. Or if you would be willing to wait at the entrance, I could go up there myself.
Well, they're still waiting about 2 hours round trip.
I will bow to the uh, group consensus.
How about if we visit it on the way back?
Okay.
The weather
Yeah.
is looking inside-ish.
Yeah. Well, the sooner we get inside the caves, the better.
I don't think I've ever heard weather described as inside-ish before, but I get it.
It's a very descriptive word.
So I think then you head for the caves, and I think I want to invite you to consider this in character because it's one thing each of you has now been here at least once, right? You passed through this entrance on your way to get the scorpion paste, but that was a time when you knew you were going somewhere relatively shallow and getting something and then bringing it right back. Now you know that you are planning to descend to the deepest depths of these caves to face unknown dangers, having been explicitly warned by the wizard. And I want to know, does it feel different going into the caves now?
Absolutely for Kyria. But it's almost like she can feel how the depths below her.
Mm-hmm. What are you thinking about?
How the very nature of the lure at least seems like it would make the more like the deeper you go, the more powerful of uh, beings you might meet, and how to handle that.
All right. What about everyone else? What are you thinking as you pass the threshold of these caves?
Clem seems to, he's not necessarily like overly fretting with it, but he does seem a bit a bit anxious because he's in his head, he's kind of thinking, I wonder if this is how my pops felt when he first left his home, going on an adventure in a place with gangsters and criminals and all kinds of things, but I don't think he's ever decided he was going to go on an adventure to go exploring in the depths of an unknown place. Depths, that is. Hmm.
Yeah, Zeke is holding on to the memory of when they were fighting the ghost scorpion and the enormous bird to kind of fight off the impression that he's going to be stuck inside for who knows how long. Because he is very much an outdoorsy person.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't usually he's not an indoor kind of guy. So he likes his shelter. He does have tents, but he lives pretty much outside of the village,
Uh-huh.
um, with his flocks. And so being in what, according to the map, may be some very small spaces, but hey, they we hunted the ghost scorpion and there was that absolutely monstrously large bird.
Mm-hmm.
So it's obviously not to scale. So he's just trying to hold on to that thought while they,
Mm-hmm.
pass through into the deep down.
Okay, no doubts.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Basileus uh, is second to last in the group, and he keeps looking back at the sky, and the wheels are turning. Like, when's the next time I'm going to get to see the sky? It might be a long time. So he kind of drinks in the sight of the sky as long as he can, and then finally turns decisively and sort of like with like determination marches in, holding on to that memory. He's a very outdoor dragon bull.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he gets along with Zeke.
Yep.
Okay. Uh-huh. Did we get thoughts from Bright?
Uh, um, he's primarily thinking of returning to Manchego Manor after all this time,
Mm-hmm.
um, wondering what the people who raised him are doing, um, and not not really paying a whole lot of attention to the bigger picture because he knows that will take care of itself.
Mm-hmm.
So um, he's kind of, as far as that's concerned, he's pretty philosophical. Um, uh, yeah. So
Okay.
Hmm.
So, having come from there, of course, you know that there are markings to indicate the correct cavern branches to take to reach Manchego Manor from the entrance here. Because as a reminder, both to players here and anyone looking at the video, that the map that we see is dramatically oversimplified. There are many caverns and paths that are not shown. Um, but so you know that there are specific markings that have been made to indicate which way to go, but I'm asking you to tell me what they look like. What kinds of markings are they?
um, they're first of all, they're not they are made in a very permanent way.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like paint or charcoal. They're they're acid etched into flat bits of stone. Um, uh, so that you'd need to like take a chisel to obliterate them
Mm-hmm.
to remove them. It wouldn't be just a matter of just like brushing them away. Um, and um, the um, and the symbol is um, uh, a circle with a bite taken out of it, except instead of the nice like human semicircular uh, uh, tooth shapes, they're jagged goblin tooth shapes. They're like the bite that a shark would take out of the circle rather than a nice round toothed human.
Nice.
Uh, do they get occasionally get like graffiti, like people like take charcoal and fill
Add
in
things to
letters
it.
to change the or
I mean, sure. I mean, goblins are a mischievous people. There's plenty of that kind of that kind of thing. But you definitely see Bright when he goes by. If there's anything like that, he takes out a rag and cleans them
I
up
was
to the best
just
of his ability.
I was just thinking that that maybe there's you know less savory elements that will do that kind of thing, and it's actually a code to say hey, if you take instead of going this way to you go this other direction, you'll get to a hideout or something. Just as a possibility.
Uh, so it sounds like the symbols being made are intended to be like pretty dramatic, and so it sounds like it would take a lot of doing to actually like manipulate those or change them in a meaningful way. But that does not rule out the possibility that someone
No, yeah,
sufficiently motivated could.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And the markings are important because things do shift around.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there might be some kind of subtle magic to them, even that you know when something moves something around, they the indicator,
As well.
it shifts as well to maintain maintain the path. And it doesn't mean that the route is easy or safe or short, but it does mean you don't get lost finding your way.
So my suggestion here,
Hmm.
and this is negotiable because this is decision for all
Right.
of us. My suggestion is that the symbols don't like magically shift; that they have to be
Oh,
remade, but that there
okay.
are efforts to, like, to keep them current.
Yeah. The monks go out regularly to make sure that they're all pointed in the right
Yeah,
direction.
I just don't want
Aha.
it to be too easy for there to just be
Yeah.
established signs that automatically magically move anytime the tunnels change.
Okay.
I like the
Okay.
idea that
It takes
every
work.
like even the less savory part, but more criminal minded parts will support the changing of the signs because if this
It's useful to them too.
Well,
yeah
Mm-hmm.
also, if I may, I'm just imagining why a criminal network would ever want to change the equivalent of a street sign. Because like they might make their own little code symbols or something like that, but
Right.
do they want people to accidentally stumble into their hideout instead of going to the actual place?
Well,
no
especially since it is not the kind of place where you can't put an ambush right in the middle of a thoroughfare. It
Right.
is a place where you can put an ambush in the
Yeah.
thoroughfare, so you wouldn't need to divert people to your ambush. You just set your ambush up in the
Yeah.
thoroughfare.
So,
but
but what I will also especially validate though is there's bandits. Like there's
Yeah.
criminal elements. There's
Mhm.
people live down here.
Yeah.
So it's not only monsters. There are communities as well. Although I have to imagine for most of you, it still feels a little bit strange to even imagine that, just because you've kind of grown up thinking of like caverns. That's where the monsters are, period.
Wow.
Nobody goes down there. Why would you? you know? But in any case, though, as you are, you know, entering the cave, I think it has been a full day for you at this point, and you know that it's going to be probably the better part of a day to get to Manchego Manor from here. Maybe
Okay.
not a whole day, and that's assuming you don't have a lot of like unexpected obstacles or anything. You know,
Right,
there's
right.
a relatively stable area, but it raises the question though of like, you know, are you gonna set up camp, try to keep going? What would you
I
like?
think we're going to need to set up camp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We've still
camp would be
got,
good.
I don't know about you guys, but I've still got some ingredients left over from the last time we camped, so we can definitely do a feast.
I would
Yep.
like the I would like Zeke and Curia to both roll instinct rolls to kind of get a sense of where might be a reasonable place to find a campsite, and also any other concerns that there might be related to all of this.
Nice.
Okay, we got 19 with hope from Curia, 12 with hope. It looks like
Yeah.
from Zeke. Which
Yeah.
once again, I'm just mystified why it is only Lee's that
That
has the dice like layout all like out of
Wonky.
sync. Like I don't
Yeah.
understand that. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's fine. I don't mean to like keep bringing it up to shame you for something you probably don't know how to change either. So, um, in any case, I think that there are a number of places that could potentially be reasonable um, uh, campsites. But the thing that you in particular, Curia, recognize is the look of those rain clouds moving in. You think it's quite possible that some of these, like if it were to rain really hard, you could
Flood.
potentially end up with a flash flood scenario in some of these locations. And so you have kind of a feeling that that might happen. And so that you're going to probably like, you know, making a camp
Find a
on
place
higher
that's a
ground.
little,
Yeah, will
yeah,
will
elevated.
reduce the likelihood of you being, you know, suddenly waking up with your campsite flooding.
Yes, this place is probably prone to flooding, so I think that higher spot over there would be better.
Hmm.
Plus, be easier to see something coming.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So, are you setting watches or anything?
I think we
Yes.
should.
Yes, most definitely.
I won't be able to because I'm for my two actions. We got the feast
Mm-hmm.
patrons, so those are my two actions.
Okay, so is the
So,
plan to make a feast then for this
oh
long
yeah,
rest? All right, let's
Yeah.
uh, let's put us on the make a feast page and figure out what ingredients you've got. And
um,
did anyone actually go onto this Google Doc cookbook page that we made and actually do anything over there? I'll confess I haven't looked at it.
All that looks like to me is that the ingredients I pasted onto there.
Okay. Is
okay.
that
So,
that's not a list of what you have? It's just a list of
No.
what flavors or what dice are for
Mm.
Yeah.
each potential ingredient. Okay.
all right.
So at the very least, we have that. But I will remind you all that I am assigning you the task of maintaining your cookbook.
Keep
I'm not going to do it for you. And
right.
so if you want it to be useful for you,
Yeah,
you all need to
we
do
have
it.
to. We have to do that.
Yeah. And especially just
So
because, like I said, there's going to be bonuses if you ever cook something with the same flavor
Yeah.
profile
flavor
that you've
profile.
used before. And unless you remember what that is, you're never going to get that bonus.
Oh. Oh, that's what I
Well,
forgot to
the one
mention.
we
I
had
do have
before
access.
was all the first 5. It was sweet, salty, bitter, sour, and savory,
Right.
as I recall.
Yeah.
Yes, it was all 5. That's the one thing we've done.
Well,
Yeah,
we haven't.
the
There's no
first
weird.
one was the scorpion, was the giant scorpion cutlet that we made.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
He's-
I am contributing giant scorpion meat, 1 sweet, 1 salty.
Okay.
Okay.
So we've got. Let me get my. Where did I? Ah, that's right. I have it in the macros.
And I
So-
will add one of my acid slime, the slime from the acid slime that was sour. So
Was that
2 sour.
1 sour or 2 sour?
it was 1 sour.
Okay.
Oh,
One.
No, citric
Oh, is it- wait, is it
centipede
2
acid was
acid?
too sour.
Okay, 2 sour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I careful people. This list I think is just a list of if you have that ingredient, what are the dice for it? So don't like manipulate that list by saying what you're adding right now, because that's
yeah.
like don't. You all organize it how you want, but I'm just warning you. It looks like there's potentially some contradictory. So right now I'm adding.
Oh,
We've got a sweet and a salty for that first ingredient, and then what was the second ingredient?
2 sour.
2 sour.
2 sour.
2 sour, which is the D10s.
D10s.
A D10, a D10s, a D4, and a D6.
Yeah, that's what we've got so far.
And I'm going to add in some citric centipede eggs, which
Okay.
is 1 sweet and 1 salty.
All right. A reminder too that you can do the gathering blooms.
Yeah, I would
as
like
well.
to do that.
Okay. So I was pulling up the rules for this. There we go. Yeah. So when you want to gather blooms once per rest, you can spend a hope to gather blooms. And given that you're all probably rested anyway, at this point, probably what you're wanting to do with the feast is just get hope anyway. So it probably doesn't hurt to spend it if you have it.
Right.
But yeah, so if you want to gather some blooms, roll a d12 and I'll tell you what you find. I've got the 3 ingredients so far.
No, that's not it. 7.
Okay. 7 is going to be a sour. And I think we had, so maybe you find some of the sponge slimes. You're in the same general area, and we had previously established sponge slime. So you have that. Reminder, everyone keep track that right now you can only hold a number of ingredients. Total, let's see, I think it's actually, you might have leveled that up now. Let's see. You can,
According to the highest
yeah,
trait.
your highest character trait. So if any of you have a 3 now on your on your trait, you can hold 3. Otherwise, you can hold 2. The blooms count. So keep track of that. So in the bowl right now, we've got ghost scorpion meat, citric centipede eggs, and the citric centipede acid, I think.
Yep. That's my tally.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
And
add
then
the
Clem.
sponge slimes because that's another sour.
Okay. Yeah. So right now, yeah, sour and sweet and salty is the profile.
There's nothing wrong with having, a bunch of the same kind of dice. In fact, that's a good thing. It makes it more likely we'll get high doubles.
So Clem looking for blooms. It looks like
He's
you
got
rolled.
a 3.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was just looking at who else had rolled. So that's going to be a salty, and I don't think we had established a salty bloom yet. It doesn't even have to necessarily be like a traditional plant. It can be like a certain kind of like mineral deposit or something like that. So do we want to? Let's see. How about this? Roll a d20. Got a table for these. 14. You have found that there is a sort of flower-like structure that grows down here that produces salty nectar.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, and Christiana, for the two liquids in my flask,
Mm-hmm.
one is a fry oil and the other is a thickening agent, so I can make roux.
Okay,
Wow.
fun. I like
Nice.
that. Okay, cool. And so I think mechanically that doesn't affect our thing here, but I think for flavor, for flavor.
For
Yeah.
flavor.
Yeah.
Right
So
overlay.
I would definitely say, I am open to you using that creatively in various circumstances. But so okay, so
My
we've got.
cholesterol is not going to like the amount of
So
food that
what do we want to call this salty flower nectar?
I have an idea.
Yeah,
CSAP.
sea sap. Okay,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
You want to put that on the list so you've got some sea sap available. So right now, if you are not contributing an ingredient, I think in order to gain the benefits of the meal, you have to use the downtime action, but it does not force you to put an ingredient in the pot, I don't think. But of course, the more ingredients you all put in, the more,
Yeah.
points you're
So,
likely to
I'll
have.
put, if nobody has an issue with it, I'll put in the sponge slimes, because
Okay.
why not?
So you've got one sponge slime, which is another D10. Okay. Let me actually
And
organize
put in
these
the
for
CSAP.
Okay.
Jason?
Yeah, I know. I added my
So you found some CSAP. The question is, are you going to go ahead and put it into this meal?
Sure. Do we want to? Yeah, because we've already got some salty, right?
Yep.
Yeah. We'll add
Yep.
one more.
All right. Any
And the
other
CSAP
ingredients? We've got, the total pool now is 2 sweet, 3 salty, 3 sour.
I think that is a contribution from each of us.
Okay.
I did not contribute. I didn't
Oh.
searching for anything. So I didn't want. Oh,
I
okay.
count 2 blooms and 3 ingredients.
But I think
Somebody
one of the blooms was also from someone who contributed an
put in
ingredient.
ingredients.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That was me.
Okay.
All right. I'll look for a bloom. I didn't
Okay.
want to overdo things. Also,
Oh, that's fine.
I was trying to get into that document to edit things, and I can only read it. I can't edit, so I was getting frustrated
Oh.
trying to figure out how to make that work.
Okay.
So-
I mean, anyone. Oh, you know what? Sorry, this is on me. Anyone with the link should be able to edit it now.
Okay, so I rolled the 3 of my gather blooms. So what is the CSAP's flavor?
Salty.
Yeah.
One salty.
Salty.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the document, so.
Yeah. So we can say that that's already on there. So, and I'll remind you that this document is not only for types of ingredients, but like
Well-
I think we should try to get
Put the
it'll be fun
recipes,
to
yeah.
get creative
Mhm.
with the recipes and like what it looks like, and if you wanted to like draw pictures and stuff like that, or add photos and stuff in there, that could be fun. But in any case, so then that's going to be one more salty, which is one more D6, and then we're ready to roll.
So my thing was a salty. Oh, it was CSAP. Oh, I got another
Yeah, the
CSAP.
CSAP. Yeah.
Okay, I'll throw 2 CSAP of that one in, so I'll have 2 CSAPs.
No, you get one when you do the look for blooms. You get one of
Right.
whatever it is.
Right. I think Jason got the same
Oh
thing
yeah,
I
so
did.
yes,
Yeah.
The
you
second
can
one
both
into the
put
pot.
in your CSAP. It's just
Right.
you can't put in more than one. You
Right,
don't get more
okay.
than one from your
Yeah.
action. Okay, so we're ready to roll it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Random sides for all of those. Okay, looks like
Ooh,
we've
nice.
got 2 5s,
2 1s.
2 1s,
Two
and I
ones,
believe 2 4s.
Three
Yeah,
three
and
fours.
Oh yeah, look at
Yeah.
that.
D10
Did you only take
and
them
both
off in
D fours.
pairs?
I think so. Let me look. Sorry, my dog is whining at me. He's just making pathetic little noises because that's his
No.
move. I think. Let's see. I don't think it says you look for any matching values. So I think
Okay.
when there are 3 of them,
You pull them
you
all.
take them all out, but I don't know that it gives you more.
Well, when you're done, you add up all the total, right?
So here's the thing is that I think you only take out 2. Any of them could be a match. You can take out 2 of those 3.
Oh, okay,
Because you'd
okay.
rather leave the other dice in there.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. So let's
So
take 2 5s out and leave the rest. Yeah. Or we can take the 3 4. Actually, the 3
No,
4s would
Okay,
be
so I think
more.
if it's a match, you have. What I'm saying is that there's 3 4s, so you have to take 2 of them out.
Oh, okay.
Let's take the
Let's-
D4s because
Yeah.
that's better for probability.
Well, but the what is it? The D10, or no, the
Yeah, the
D8.
D10, the D10 is not as likely to match with things. I think we want to pull the D10 and a D4
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
math wise. I haven't like actually logicked it out, but my
Well,
intuition,
the
my
D10 can
mathematical.
roll things that none of the D4s or D6s
Yeah.
remaining can roll, and
Okay.
so they.
Right.
Yeah, so there's a chance that it can land on things that couldn't
Yeah,
result in a match. Okay, but so that very first roll, you've already got 10 meal points,
Yeah.
basically.
Right.
So let's roll those last 3. Look, we got 2 4s. That's another 4. So
Wow.
14.
All
So
right.
this is a
Particularly satisfying
pretty
meal.
good meal, resulting
Yeah.
in
14.
14 points. As a reminder that you can only have a maximum of 6 hope, but when you are using these points, you can use them 14 to clear hit points, clear stress. You probably have all of that set already. And then I think you can't fix armor with this.
No.
No.
All right, but you can gain hope, which my guess is this just means now everybody's going to basically be full up on everything, because I think you probably already
Yeah.
had all your hit points and all your stress cleared, and so you're going to max out on 6 hope. Or if you don't, I mean, tell me. But
I wasn't didn't have my stress cleared, so
okay. All right, that's
Yep.
fine. I okay. So you do now, though, probably, right?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. That's okay. So everybody's maxed up. All right. So that's a pretty solid meal. So what is this meal? What is it called? What does it look like? What does it taste like? What's the mouthfeel?
Marinated scorpion meat is the name of it, because I think with the sour and the salt, that would make it a good basic marinade.
Mm-hmm.
Given that Clem just wants to deep fry everything, it is fried with a really solid crust on the outside, but scorpion meat being having a lot less of a fibrous texture compared to other things.
How about a salt crust? Because we have so much salt in
Yeah.
this thing.
Yeah.
There's a salt
Yeah.
there, so it could be a salt crusted scorpion fillet.
Salt crusted marinated scorpion meat.
Salt crusted marinated. I'm putting it in the recipes as that. Salt crusted marinated scorpion fillets. It's 2 sweet, 4 salty, 3 sour.
Well, I think. Well, is the flavor profile the exact number of dice, or
No,
is it just
it's
a combination?
it's the flavors. So you've got one
Oh,
that
so
is all 5. Now you've got one that is sweet, salty, sour.
Oh, okay. This is understand that.
So
Okay,
next time, for example, if you were to make something that was 1 sweet, 1 salty, 1 sour, you would get your bonus for it.
Okay.
Yeah. So what is this like? What does it taste like? Does everybody like it? Like we've established mechanically that it's good in that way. It doesn't necessarily mean the flavor is yummy. You know what I mean? I think what
I wind up drinking a lot of water afterwards because of all the salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zeke is pretty much licking his hand because of the salt lick. He's just pretty much licking everything. It's like, I'll do dishes, I promise.
right.
That's a lot of salt. Mm.
Yeah, that's
Let's maybe try and go a little less on the salt next time.
maybe next time.
Zeke is giving you the side eye.
Zeke wants all the salt. Salt
All
is a
the
good
salt.
preservative. So
All
salt
the
is a good preservative. So
You know, to each his own. Mm.
And
Um,
Clem is like, I think next time we should do it as a kebab.
how much more scorpion meat do you have? You know, you'll have to go hunt some
I'm
more.
I'm out. I'm out.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm
I
empty.
have
I think we're out.
I have one left.
Okay.
So,
So
certainly, by the way, if you ever did just replicate a pre-existing recipe, that is certainly allowed and would obviously count in the same flavor profile question.
yeah.
So because you're taking a long rest, I'm going to go ahead and max out my fear die here.
And is taking watch one of the long rest actions?
No,
Downtime
it's unrelated. You the downtime you get to take your long rest,
Okay.
your long rest actions. The taking watch or not is unrelated.
Okay.
And so,
So-
for example, all of you should have 1 second downtime action. As Nobilis was suggesting, Bright has one where you don't. It's not mandatory for you to do it, but if you don't
But
do
there's
it,
a
I
penalty.
get a fear.
I don't. Yes.
Although I'm maxed out anyway, so it's moot actually in this case. But fictionally,
Fictionally, yeah.
you're
Well, I also get tokens that I can spend
Yeah.
later on things.
so. But everyone else can probably repairing armor would be the sort of the obvious one if you have any of that left to do.
Well,
Or working
Kyria
on
has a
projects.
project.
Okay.
The Ghost Scorpion Dagger.
Oh, that's right. Remind me what I said about that?
Four count progress roll.
Okay. And what was I making you roll for it?
You didn't give me specifics on that.
Okay. Did
You just said,
did you not do a roll already, or you haven't?
No, I
had-
have not.
Oh, okay. Well, in this case, then I think that what it makes sense is if you're making a dagger, that seems like a finesse roll to me.
Okay.
So I think that you've got a 4 count dagger, or 4 countdown. So I would say roll a finesse roll.
Okay.
I guess I
Ooh.
didn't say what the difficulty was going to be, so it's only it wouldn't be fair for me to now say no, that's not good enough. I was actually thinking of saying 12, so this would be a success. It is a success
Okay.
with fear, and so let's see. Let me. I think it had some project advice. Let me just double check what it suggests. Okay. You know what? Let me. So I believe you're probably gonna. Oh, see, work on a project. Oh boy. Countdown is really what I want. Wow, there's a lot of countdown in this. See, 162. There we go. Okay, so I think standard countdown. Wow, okay. This is okay, I'm going to say that a success with fear does just reduce it by 1. So you're so you've managed to take the countdown from 4 to 3, making your dagger.
4 to 2?
4 to 3, you've reduced it by 1, right?
I missed it. I misheard.
Okay. So who else is doing a downtime action?
I am not.
So I'm going to invite you to consider it. You know, you don't
Right.
have to do one, but if you don't do
Right.
one, you're essentially wasting
Right,
activity.
right.
So.
I'm looking at the downtown action. Sent all wounds. I'm fine. I have no stress. I have no armor damage.
Mm-hmm.
Repair. I can't gain any hope because we're at maximum. I haven't thought of a project to work on that. We've found any. I haven't found anything to work on a project with yet.
Okay, and that's fine. I'm just
Yeah.
letting you know that it's a little bit like in combat not taking your turn, right? It's so
Right.
I'm encouraging you to think of a project that you could work on in these circumstances because otherwise you have essentially a potential
Okay.
to be doing something and not taking it.
Okay. So yes, I need to invent and be inventive and proactive. So okay, so I am working on a translation project.
Okay.
Translating a book of magic that's an old high draconic into one that I can read and actually use and eventually down the line will provide me more magic. So
Okay.
that's my project that I'll work on during downtime.
That feels like a longer term one,
Yeah.
but one where I would potentially like have a finished one be valuable for you. So let's call that an 8 countdown. And so that sounds like a knowledge roll to advance it to me.
Yeah. All right.
And let's call it a 12 as well, difficulty.
Actually difficult because I'm not good at knowledge, but this is why I'm doing it, try to learn better. So, but yeah.
Look at that, 12 on the
Hey.
button with hope. I'm going to let
With
that
hope.
count as 2, so you reduce it from 8 to 6.
Right.
Do keep track of that on
Yep.
your end. Okay, great. Bright, are you doing your prayer?
Yes,
Aha.
I've already taken the. Almost that.
Okay. Clem, Zeke, do either of you have? Are you doing armor, or are you coming up with a project?
Clem, you guys will actually see Clem go. He'll dip into his shell and come out, and he has like a, almost like, have you ever been to like a baseball game where those guys run the strap and like there's a little table thing on it where he's like holding drinks and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
But he's got this, and he starts working on his hammer, his sledgehammer. He starts taking the old armor that he had because now he's got new armor. And so he's taking those old nuts and bolts and scraps and he starts working on his armor. He wants to start improving that hammer. So that is going to be a project for him. And ultimately, when we get it, I'll probably have it go until we get a chance to get a higher tier weapon and then he'll finish it. So I don't know necessarily how long that'll be, but it could be a long-term project because again, he's using scraps currently.
Yes.
And I don't think Zeke has a problem has a project yet. He doesn't
Okay.
have a problem yet.
That's
He
fine.
doesn't have a project yet. But this is
Okay,
a new
so-
environment.
Sure.
And
Like so,
he'll
like if
find
you don't
something.
have something, I don't mean to like put you on the spot. It was more, so like I encourage you to think about it, and so
Mhm.
like. So and I'm sorry, Jason. I confess I was looking at something while you were talking. Do we need to establish a countdown and do a roll for yours?
Yeah, we can, but like I said, I don't know. Like basically, he'll work on his hammer to try to improve it, but he knows it'll be a while because he's only working with like his leftover armor because
Okay.
he got the new armor. Um, and so I didn't know when he would get a chance to get, say, a higher tier weapon. So I would just have it be something he works on and off of for a while until we get that opportunity.
Okay. Well, let's call that to if the goal is to have it actually mechanically be like to take to improve, like literally
Yeah.
improve the hammer.
Mhm.
Let's call that a 10 countdown.
Okay.
And we'll go with the same difficulty we've been using for the others. And so I would also call that a finesse roll.
Awesome.
For tinkering with that. So if you want to go ahead and do a finesse roll, we'll see if you make progress on it.
And I will use my experience. I read my father's notes,
Mm-hmm.
and you actually will actually see him take out looks like a little old worn book, and he like looks at some things. And there seems to be like schematics and other handwritten things in there as he's tinkering around with this hammer.
Okay. And go ahead and spend the hope to use the experience, but that's an 18 with hope. So you can reduce the countdown from 10 to 8.
Nice. And you guys hear him go,
Oh, that's what he meant.
All right. So, as everybody kind of finishes eating and is working on their individual little stuff, I think it has, certainly started to rain outside, and so you can hear kind of water trickling down into the caverns as you're like up in your high and dry campsite. As things start to turn in, are you setting watches? Are you doing anything like that, or?
oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think we need to.
Oh, yeah.
Kiri will take second watch.
Okay.
I'll take first watch.
Okay, I'll take third.
Yeah, I'll be on third as well.
I'll join Clem on first watch then.
I'm used to
Or,
waking up.
I think Clem was on third watch and Zeke was on first watch.
Oh.
No, I think I was on third.
Yeah, no, it was the other way. I was
Okay.
first.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine.
My apologies.
No, you're good.
Okay. So Clem and Basileus.
Yes.
Baz.
I don't know why
Baz.
I've got this mental block in my head that makes me question it every time. I think the two of you can both make an instinct roll to keep an eye on things. Look at that. That's
18
an
with fear.
18. So what I'll allow in this case is because you're both rolling it, we can treat it a little bit like a tag team in the sense that I'll let the two of you decide which of those you want it to be. So
Let's
do you
go with
want
the
higher
16
number
to
with
avoid the
fear, or
heat.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
16
Let's
with
avoid
no-
the. Yeah, let's go with that.
I
Okay.
think our DM on high has enough fear.
Well, it's maxed out.
Also maxed
anyway.
out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
So,
Oh.
so the other thing that I'll mention, and this is a reminder as much for me as anyone, is that we generally speaking should be setting the difficulty before the roll happens. And I don't always necessarily remember to say it. So let's collectively try to be a little not quite so quick on the trigger with the dice if I haven't
Okay.
said the difficulty yet. Like I said, I'm not blaming anyone else for this. This is me forgetting, but that's how you can help me remember.
Yeah. For my project, I put the difficulty in the notes. So
Okay, yeah, that's fine. But this is for all roles that we're talking about. So in any case, I think that as the primary thing that you notice, just as you are watching, is that it was probably a very good thing that you specifically found the high ground campsite here, because it does look like, the amount of water flowing in is considerable.
Oh boy.
And you may well, if you had not sought out higher ground, may well have found your campsite getting inundated. But in any case, you seem to be just fine up here where you are. All right, second watch.
okay, and just me by my lonesome.
That's how you all defined it.
Okay.
Go ahead and make an instinct roll. So 14, I'll say, is the difficulty here. Look at that. 13 with fear. I think that what happens at this point is that you all are, resting and asleep here. It is, you know what? Actually, I also just realized, just as a mechanic, that's interesting, is by the very nature of the feast mechanic that we have been at least saying happens, before you turn in, means you're effectively getting the benefit of the long rest before the rest part happens. Which is interesting. We might need to talk about that.
Well, we could that could be like at the beginning of the rest, and then the other thing we do is at the end of the rest.
Or like HP and such is cleared.
I think that maybe makes sense too, but I think so. But I'm just noticing that the phenomenon in D&D usually is if a rest is interrupted, everyone has not yet gotten all of the rest
Right.
benefits yet. Whereas if we're doing it this way, everyone kind of does have it already. And I think it just means in the fiction. But I don't hate that, honestly. You know what I mean? Because you have certainly had some downtime already and you've had a good meal. And I feel like you would be feeling better even if you have not slept the whole night yet. Right? So I don't know that we need to change anything about it. But uh, the uh, just having we'll leave it as it is right now, but let's just be aware that it's an interesting nuance of the way the rules are working here that we might revisit if it feels like we're shortchanging the fiction somehow. But in any case, I think what happens here is that Curia, you are certainly noticing what Clem and Basileus told you, which is that the water was rising above, or rather below, and in fact has become a bit of a sort of spontaneous underground river down there. And your campsite is up out of the way, but as you are sort of watching for that, the sound of all of this rushing water disguises that the sound of a creature, perhaps fleeing that very rushing water, looking
Oh
for
boy.
high ground of its own, and cresting the little cliff overlooking the water from your campsite, and finding suddenly that your camp is now occupied by all of you, and also a scary lizard of some kind that's like the size of a Great Dane, and it's got all sorts of weird scale frills on it and big, creepy, gigantic eyes. And so you did not notice it coming, but you certainly notice when it leaps into the center of your campsite and goes. And in
Nature.
particular, I think that let's see. I'm going to have it make a roll against against you, Curia, because you're the one that's like, you know, sort of not lying down, less obvious. And wow, yeah. So it got a 23.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Oh man.
Yeah. Let's see. And I think that what happens here is that it looks at you dead in the like it gazes at you dead in the eyes with these kind of horrific, gigantic but blind looking eyes, and you feel like this terrible headache, and also just like you're briefly sort of feeling faint. And let's see, where this is going to be magic damage. Where's my defense? All the little dice that I have kind of set out right now, and none of them are what I need, so I'm going to just roll the digital ones. I have a bunch of dice in my dice tray right now, and none of them are D10s somehow. Okay, so 2D10s.
Oh boy.
So yeah, that is going to be 18 magical damage, and you need to mark a stress as somehow this thing's horrible, horrible gaze is just like trying to take over your brain or something.
Okay,
Oh
and
my gosh.
does armor apply to that?
I mean,
Or can it apply?
it is still damage, so your damage thresholds related to your armor still apply. Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
so that by itself is severe damage, so I'm going to spend an armor slot and only take 2.
Okay. So, yeah, you sort of realize, I think, that despite it sort of you feeling it in your brain, it is still sort of sending out like waves of energy somehow that are not, it's not like somehow directly in your brain.
And I, if I could, if I I will definitely call out to wake the rest of the group.
Okay. Yeah. So I think you shout. Everyone else is kind of like was asleep. But tell me what you're doing. It's your team's spotlight.
So
Okay.
I will, in reaction to that, I will absolutely shoot my improved short bow at it.
All right. And I think that this whole campsite here is, I'm going to treat everybody as within close range because it's a
Okay.
relatively small little ledge that you're all up on. Here, so go ahead. You're attacking with your short bow. That is a
Yes.
19 with hope. Absolutely will hit. Go ahead and take your
Yay.
hope unless you are full up.
I'm currently, uh, I'm currently full, but I will spend a hope to make a. Well, I guess that's if it's supposed to be before I make the
You know,
attack.
um, why would
I
you?
make it a focus. It's my ranger class feature.
Okay, but you're supposed
Make
to
an
do that
attack
before.
against the target on the this. Deal your attacks normal damage and temporarily make the target your focus.
Okay, I mean that doesn't sound like you have to do it
Just
before.
spend a hope and make an attack. But
Okay. Okay, well, in that case, you do have to do it before, but we can say that you did. So
okay,
you've gained a hope. You've gained back the one that you spent. Roll your damage, please.
okay.
Yeah.
10
Okay,
damage.
that's 10, which is still just minor damage for this thing. So he's going to mark 1 hit point.
Okay.
But yeah, you
When you
fired
deal
at it.
damage to them, they must mark a stress.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. So I think you've your arrow kind of wedges uncomfortably in some of its scales, but doesn't look like it's been too traumatic an injury. But it certainly, this thing doesn't like it stuck in its sort of the ridges of its scales, and it's kind of clawing at it, trying to like get it out. So it's taking some mental energy there, some stress. Okay, what else?
We've still got the spotlight. So I'm going to use
Mm-hmm.
Voice of Dread. Magically speak directly into the ears of a creature you can see. Torment them with your words. Make a spell cast roll. On a success, they must mark stress and become vulnerable.
Okay.
So here is my spell. Uh, Spellcast roll. I'm going to spend a hope
Mm-hmm.
to add my experience Underworld Scholar.
Okay.
I've seen these things before, and I know something of their magical vulnerabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay.
so I'm rolling with +4 instead of +2.
All right. Well, I'll tell you some information about it depending on how that goes. All right. So
That's a
17 is a
17.
success. It is a success with fear. So I haven't spent my fear yet though. So like I'm still maxed out. So it's kind of moot. What I'll say
Right.
though, that you recognize what these are, but that's bad because they're nasty. This is what is known as a Gorgon gecko.
Oh,
Oh
Christiana.
no.
It is basically a type of climbing lizard that has
Right.
psychic and paralyzing, petrifying properties.
Okay. Well, in any case, it was a success, so that it marks a stress and is vulnerable.
Yes.
Okay.
But
So
because I rolled with fear, you get the spotlight.
yes.
I
And
was hoping to roll with hope so somebody could take advantage of the vulnerable for it. Go.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think I am going to, as part of its spotlight, I am going to spend a fear to have it, clear the vulnerable.
Yeah, the vulnerable.
As it sort of shakes that off, and then I'm actually going to spend a second one. Got so much after all.
You've got jobs.
Yeah. Hang on. What do I have on the stream right now? Okay, I'm showing the map still. Let me switch back over to our. Yeah, there we go. So it has cleared the vulnerable, and it is now did that do any damage, or it was just to do the
It
vulnerable?
is stress. It is marking a
Okay.
stress and becoming vulnerable. That's what it does.
You get the sense though that with the stress that it already marked and the one that you just made it mark, it seems very sort of like frazzled. Like it is very sort of like jumpy. It seems like scared, panicked, or like which just certainly does not make it less dangerous, but like
Right.
it has
It's had an
stress.
effect.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that yeah, it is going to, let's see. Yeah, it is going to charge at you and attack with basically just, claws.
Okay.
And it is, yeah. So it is, and I'm going to actually, it can be spotlighted 2 times per GM turn. It's going to attack you and Curia again, as it's just like flailing around. So that's a third fear. And now the rolls against you, Bright. That's only going to be, I think, 7, which is probably.
Oh, yeah, it is definitely below my evasion. Yes.
Yeah. Against Curia. Wow, both of those relatively low rolls, but that's an 11. Is that below your
That
evasion?
misses.
Okay, so it flails out with claws at both of you, but it is perhaps still so agitated that it's not being very effective, and so that's the end of its spotlight.
Okay. Zeke is going to spend a hope and cast fireflies at this guy.
Okay.
What's that?
Make a spellcast roll against all adversaries within close range. Spend a hope to deal 2d8 plus 3 magic damage to targets you succeed against.
Okay.
So we're just giving this a shot.
All right. Look at
That's
that.
a 23 with hope.
23
wow.
with
Yeah.
hope is a pretty good roll.
Yeah.
All right.
So certainly a success with hope.
Yeah.
So take your hope. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm full up on hope, so I have to spend a hope and then take it back.
Okay.
to get my damage roll in.
Okay.
And that's, yeah. That's 6 damage.
Okay. So it's still below its minor threshold, which means that it only takes 1, but it does take 1. When that happens, as a reaction, when the Gorgon Gecko takes damage from an attack within close range, I can spend a fear, which I will do, to make you, as the attacker, make an instinct reaction roll, which just like you're rolling instinct, but the fear or hope doesn't matter.
Okay.
Oops, shoot! What did I just?
That's a 17.
Okay. Well, I just had. Oh, you know what? I just I deleted my little die instead of 17. Let me get my
Yeah.
I have to put my little D8 back up where I had it. Okay. And it should be at 8 now. 17, I believe, is a success. Let me confirm that by looking
What's
at
for
the
part?
yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. So what was the question?
Never mind.
Okay. So, yes, because you succeeded, you do not begin turning to stone.
Yay!
So you see, as a reaction to your magical fireflies, it turns those horrible eyes at you, and I think you briefly feel them trying to do something to you, but you're able to just sort of immediately turn your gaze away and not get caught by them.
Horrible lizard eyes versus horrible goat eyes. Fight.
Slim,
All right.
Lee, you took damage from that?
No.
Oh, okay. It was just the.
It was a
turning
risk
to stone
of
part.
possible petrification.
yeah.
Okay.
But that, so the The fear on that reaction roll doesn't matter, so it's still your spotlight with that success with hope.
Okay. What you wanted to go up next, Jason?
Yeah, Clem. So Clem hops up and he grabs his hammer and he charges forward, and you see him slam into this thing shell first, um,
Oh,
and with a forceful push.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Um, that is a 25 with hope.
That's
Ah,
pretty
ah,
good.
nice.
Yeah. So take
Yeah.
another hope if you can, if you've got the space for it. So
And I will then mark a hope to because additionally you can spend a hope to make it temporarily vulnerable. So I will
okay.
do that. And damage. Because that is roll.
Wow, look at that.
22 maximum
22 is
damage.
pretty good. That is enough, believe it or not, to get it major damage, but not severe damage. However, that
wow.
does make it mark 2 more hit points. So,
And you'll hear Clem say, Donatello be praised.
and I believe you spent the hope to make it vulnerable.
Yes.
Okay, so I think what you've done is you sort of you slammed it hard enough that you kind of flipped it over on its back, and it's sort of like scrambling a second to try to recover. However, when you did this damage to it, it does immediately turn those terrible eyes at you. So I need an instinct reaction roll from you as well.
21.
Okay, yeah. Well, the hope doesn't matter
Okay.
for the reaction roll, but that means that you also are able to turn your gaze away without it affecting you.
Wow,
Great.
that thing is nasty. I'm staying a I'm going to stay a distance, but I don't have any distance spells. All I have is my enchanted boomerang, so I'm gonna throw it at the thing.
Okay.
It's vulnerable, so
Yeah, that means you get the advantage die. You roll an extra d6 along with your. All right, so it's a 17, but with fear. So that is a success. It's a but with a fear. So I'm going to take one more fear, but you go ahead and roll the damage.
7 damage, so not much.
Okay, so it does take one more hit point of damage, but in this case, though, it is also going to hit you with its reaction. So make your instinct reaction roll. All right, everybody's succeeding so far on this, so you are also able to avert your gaze. However, it is now its turn, and I think that with you, like you were the last. No, I think Clem was the one that hit it the hardest last time.
Yeah.
So I think it is going to, flip itself back onto its
Feet.
onto its feet, spending one fear for that, and then another to spotlight it again, which will let it get an attack where it is going to try again, Clem, to sort of force its control over your brain. So let's see, it's rolling a d20 for that. But it has, like, all of its d20 rolls except for that very first one against Curia have been bad. So that's only 7, which I'm pretty sure is your evasion's better than 7. I'm assuming. You're muted.
Barely though. My evasion's only 9, so it barely.
So yeah, it is. So it is not able to hit you with that attack. However, I'm going to spend another fear to have it frustrated. Turn that to that gaze towards Bright.
Okay. What was I rolling?
No, you're not rolling. It's going to roll an attack. So.
Okay.
And that is better. That's going to be 17 against
That's
your
better than
evasion.
my evasion.
Yeah. And then that is going to be 14 magic damage coming your way, and you need to mark a stress.
Okay, marking a stress. That is that is severe damage for me. Um, so I will mark an armor slot and 2 hit points.
How much, Nobilis, how much is
Hold
that
on.
off from value wise from being minor?
2 points would make it minor.
Okay, then I will
Well,
use
major rather.
then I'll use one of my prayer dice to lower that damage because you can use
Okay.
the spent die to reduce incoming damage. So yeah, that'll reduce that damage by 3.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Then that's just 2 hit points I'm going to take.
Great.
But the way this works, it's easier to get hit points back than armor. So I'm saving the armor for when I'm lower on hit
Yeah.
points.
Well, and so I'm
Um,
realizing too that this is the flip side of what we were just saying. You get to have this encounter with having recovered already, but also you have got what you're getting already.
right.
Right.
And so we're
Yeah.
maxed out,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Um,
and so we're gonna go in with the aftermath of this.
yeah. But so in any case, I also because when the Gorgon makes a successful attack, I gain a fear, so I've got that fear.
Oh,
But that is the end of its spotlight. So
Okay.
to all of you
I am
now.
I am going to spend a token for my inspirational words ability, so that God's character can clear a hit point.
Okay.
So Kyria would like to shoot at this thing
Okay.
again.
I want to just briefly though, like, let's describe what's happening.
Yeah.
You used
So
inspirational words to give Kira a hit point.
yeah,
What's happening?
yeah.
What's that?
May the comfort of the great elder golden slime be upon you, and a kind of a dollop of honey colored slime materializes over your wound and passes over it, and it's ameliorated.
Nice. Just in time
Yay!
for you to attack with your new bow.
Yes.
Okay, it's a
16 with
16, which is a
fear.
success, but it is with fear. So I'm going to take one more fear. And go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay.
14, which is great, which is also going to be major damage. So it marks another 2 hit points.
And a stress.
And a stress, because it's your focus. That's why?
Yes.
Okay, that is its last stress that it's marking, so it is now vulnerable. Like, it stays vulnerable unless it has some way to recover stress.
Okay. Zeke is going to try and cast
that
Firefly
was-
Skin. But-
unfortunately you lost the
With
spotlight.
fear.
Also, it does its reaction, so I need an instinct reaction roll from Kyria.
Oh boy. It's gonna be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
14?
14 is not enough.
Uh-oh.
So we're setting a petrification countdown. So it is currently at 4, and it ticks down when the Gorgon Gecko is attacked. It doesn't have to be a successful attack. Any attack against it ticks down the countdown.
Oh, interesting.
I think we need to finish this thing. How about a tag team move?
I was gonna say, Christiana, how far is that river of water that it ran from where we are now?
I think it is a ways below you because you're kind of like up on higher ground, but it sort of like crawled up the path that you took it. And well, actually it probably just went up the side of the wall. And so there is a path,
Right.
but so I'd say it's something probably like 35 feet below. You got a little bit of a cliff. You're on a ledge, but there is like a walkable path down to there as well.
Okay. I will look at our golden slime advocate, and for a team up, I will say, can you distract it?
Can you distract it?
That's a really good question. Can I take an action that would be to help him instead as part of these? Because normally a tag team is two different actions that combine together.
I was gonna
Yeah,
think
so you
rather
can
than-
make a presence roll to be kind of a distraction, right? You know, and it's
Okay,
like,
yeah.
you know, so the difference is just you because you're not using some other special ability, it's not going to like do damage or have other special rules, but you can have a you can, it's just like if you're rolling
Yeah, and
an
I'll have my
intimidation
dice
check, right?
and yeah, and use like the best of the two rolls to see
Yeah.
see if it's
So,
successful.
Yeah.
well, yeah. So you can say the only thing is with a tag team roll, if you're doing something that doesn't cause damage, then you're not getting the
Yeah,
damage
not
addition
getting the.
benefit. But I
All
can
right,
also take that into account, you know, with the resulting.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my new wand.
Okay.
And I think the way the tag team works is that I'm um, kind of wrapping the energy of the wand around his hammer so that it's got that golden, sparkly magic empowerment on the hammer as he
Okay.
brings it down.
So I guess
Yeah.
you're making your attack roll, and then Clem, you're making your hammer attack roll.
Yes, because the goal is, since this thing is so nasty, I want to try to knock it down into that river.
Okay.
And so when people try the
Okay,
You
I
got
got a 22 with
Wow.
hope.
That's pretty
Nice.
good. Yeah, Clem will have to
Pretty
roll really
close
well
to
to
a
have
crit.
that not be the one.
right. So yeah, here we go. Oh, and I have advantage, right? Because it's vulnerable, right?
Yes, it is. So
Yeah.
actually, that would have applied to Nobilis as well, but it's moot at the moment.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a 16 with fear, so I would guess that you
I
want to
think we're
use the
gonna
22
take
with hope.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Because this is one attack, essentially, even as a tag team, I am ticking the petrification count down to 3. However, now let's roll your damage. You each roll damage, we'll add it together.
Good thing. And since that was
Yeah.
successful, I get to on a success. Oh, and this was with hope. Nice. So I get to add a d6 to my damage roll
Nice.
when I use forceful push. So,
Mhm.
so that's the minimum damage.
Okay. Now, because of the stone on my wand, I get to roll 3 dice and take the best 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a 6,
Okay.
plus the 4 that the thing has, so it's a total of 10 damage for me.
All right, 10, and then we get Clem's damage.
1 sec. So that's
16. Nice.
And
So
then-
26.
So is that
And then 1 second, I gotta
That-
roll the d6.
Oh,
separate.
yeah. 26 plus a d6.
So
Oh, just one.
Well,
27.
that is above its severe damage threshold, and it only had 2 hit points left. And
All right.
specifically, the nature and described version of this is that you just manage with this incredibly powerful blow to just golf swing this thing off of the
Well,
ledge.
you know, since they did make a sequel to it, it's a very much Happy Gilmore moment here.
Yeah. So I think that there is this fantastic triumphant moment where you get the speed ramped slow motion of, and it just goes flying, obviously going limp midair, as it flies off into the darkness, and then you hear it splash into the roaring river below. And then you all have a moment of realizing now you can't get ingredients from it unless you go and find it.
Clem. Clem.
However, it is dead, and Curia, the strange sort of gray stiffness that was starting to spread across your joints, fades and disappears. So everybody is fine.
Okay.
It's dead, but also it's getting washed away down this
And
flood
I
water.
think we can let this one go, guys.
And
Yeah,
happy
Clem's like, that one was weird. I don't think I want to eat that.
Oh,
Weird is the best flavor.
Oh, you want to go get it? Right, you can do it.
No.
I'm not going into that. That water's full of nasty stuff.
Actually,
yeah.
I've got some rope. Could I try to fish out some of it from up here?
Well, so the problem is that you so there you have a path. You could try, but the issue
We
is
could go
that
down and see what we can
it's not
find.
just like a lake below. It is floodwaters moving
rushing.
past,
Yeah.
right? So it is getting swept away. Now, if you want to like right away, I don't think just rope is enough, but if you want to try to pitch me on something to try to sort of see if you can snag it, I'm open to that, but rope isn't by itself probably going to do it. Not fast enough.
No, I don't have anything fast. I don't have anything quick on Clem
Yeah.
to do that.
I mean,
No,
Curia
Yeah.
does have that fishing rod.
I think
Yeah.
next time,
It's
next
true.
time, downstrokes, please.
Although
This is going to be the center of mass for this campaign. Is downstrokes, please.
Duly noted. I'll try to hit it downward next time.
And next
Yeah,
time, of course, we're fighting on a rope bridge and downwards knocks it into the pit.
yeah, or you just or it's like knocks the edge of a cliff off. And we just all fall forward lower.
So, in any case, this lizard fleeing the floodwaters found itself in a hostile environment, and like I'm not saying it was innocent; it was trying to kill you. But yes, it has been dispatched. You are all able to sort of finish your rest. Nothing else of note occurs in this. You're able to finish your rest, and I think like in the morning, you the waters don't seem like they don't sound quite so vigorous. Like you still hear it passing by, but it's not quite such a roaring flood. However, I think I'm going to imagine that Curia, you've got your new torch, right? And when you use it to sort of give more than just the sort of camp light, you look and you see that the flood has actually pretty dramatically transformed this cavern that you're in, rather than now having just found a slightly higher and up out of the way ledge. You are now essentially like at the top of a cliff with a river that's below, and there's sort of a crevasse between you and where you were gonna go that's been worn away by this flood.
Okay,
Well, I
is there
guess-
a solid wall in between us and where we were gonna go?
I mean, there's a solid wall down to where the water is, and then there's the water, and then there's where
Okay.
you're gonna go.
Okay.
So the path that go down one side and up the other has been washed away.
Okay.
But
now
of
there's
course, this
just-
is a cavern. There is a ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking because I have a spell called Wall Walk, and I am full of hope, and I can spend that hope to let everybody one at a time walk across the ceiling to get to the other side.
Nice.
Really? Wow, that's very nice.
Okay, I guess I will trust in your magic.
Okay. So you're
Lovely.
literally just going to spend all your hope to do it for everybody?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, great.
How
No,
much
Yeah,
hope
well,
is
I'll
it?
be down to
Okay.
one.
that
I'll be down to
absolutely
one.
solves the problem. You are able to all just walk along the ceiling and completely bypass that that terrain, which is a smart use of your abilities.
Yeah.
Clem is like, I've never been upside down before.
Yeah. Just don't jump too high.
I was gonna say, like, are things falling out of your pockets?
Now, upside down is a thing that turtles don't like very much.
Yeah, you guys do hear a lot of rattling and clanking from inside his shell, like stuff falling over it, and it sounds almost like it's much bigger on the inside. Like there's like hollow, like there's even the sound of like a tink 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 tink, clink 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 clink. You're like, where did that fall? It didn't come out.
Yeah.
Kyria has like pouches that hang, but they're all secured in advance because she's been upside down. She doesn't like it, but she's been upside down.
All right. So I think that this is actually quite a fun image to perhaps end our session on. Just all of you magically walking upside down along the cavern ceiling above this brand new underground river, headed on your way towards Manchego Manor. And I think we watch you all pass by one of these carved in sigils and perhaps all kind of like rotating your head to try to like look at it right side up. All right, great. So,
Right.
will the Golden Nuggets make it to Manchego Manor? What will they find there? We'll have to find out when next we play Daggerheart on so many levels.
So many
So many
levels.
levels.
These monks are super thorough. There's
Yeah.
a sign on the ceiling.
So when next we play Daggerheart might not be next week. We'll have to see, but it's a possibility. We will be back to masks next week. We will see.
Yes.
Either way, I hope you will join us, and we'll return for more adventure on so many levels.
So many levels.
Woo.
Yes.